Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. Gotten into something new, and it's something that I've seen before. It's been around a long time. Obviously you saw from the thumbnail what it is, but I'm getting into it. We're starting up some races at my local hobby shop, another hobby shop. So my local hobby shop is RC Visions. They're going to be starting up some races. And then since they don't have a track set up, I've been going out to Ultimate Hobbies out in Anaheim area and running on their track. And so I got to meet the owner, very nice guy. We talked a lot about these things that we're going to be getting into here. And he's going to start doing some races too, so that's two places to get up and do some racing. So very excited about that. So what are these things? They are four-wheel drive minis by Tamiya. So this is one of the ones I got. This is the Manta Ray Mark II City Circuit Special. Shows up just like this. This is a mid-engine, so an MS chassis. There's different types of chassis. There's AR, which is rear engine. There is MS, which is mid-engine, and there's FM, which is front engine. So we're going to go over the two that I like. I don't really care for the AR because when they take jumps, they tend to backside down when we want a more tip, which is why the FR work for different things. But the MS chassis is the most balanced because the engine is centered and everything forward and back is even as far as the chassis goes. Got a little more weight here, possibly a little more weight on the body here, but it doesn't really matter. It jumps and it comes flat. So this is my box stock, which means in the class it's basically how it comes out of the kit. So you cannot get like a starter pack or an advanced pack or anything like that. It has to just be a basic stock car. So this one I like. It's very, very nice. It comes with some upgraded wheels, which is part of the kit, so it counts. Whatever wheels come. You cannot change the wheels. You cannot modify the body. You cannot modify the rollers. No brake, no nothing. It just as it comes out of the box, and everything that's included in the kit must be put on the car. So this is my box stock car. Very nice. It runs fast. It's very stable. Very happy with it. You also must use the stock motor, which is a white bell. So the back of the motor has got some plastic on it, and if it's colored other than white, that is a modified motor, and so you must go up into the next class. You cannot change the motor. It must be the original motor. So staying with the mid, I bought this as my first one. This is the starter pack. This is the MA Power Spec. This is a Pro one. This is the Blast Arrow. So what this comes with, which is an upgrade, is it comes with the tuned motor, which is basically, is it torque tuned? Torque tuned. So the torque tuned is, there's three types of motors. There's a speed one, which is in the rev usually. Then you have like a Hyper Dash, which is a balanced motor. It doesn't have the high RPMs that the Rev would have, but it's got a little more torque. Then you've got the Torque Tune, which is a lot more torque and again lower revs than the balanced one. So this came with the torque motor. Came with upgraded rollers, Some upgraded parts came with the brake in the back here, which is nice. Came with a couple of carbon fiber wideners to widen out where the rollers are, so that it doesn't move around the track as much. I did add the side stays to it, and then of course the center dampeners. It does come with the back dampeners, and what these dampeners do is when it lands, these dampeners act as shock absorbers to stop the car from bouncing. So we got a little extra one on the side here, works really well. Very happy with that. Everything's nice. This actually helps balance the little extra long pole. Helps with stability, so that's a big plus. I did buy some extra motors, and essentially in this one is the atomic tuned motor, which is the balanced one, and then along with that we put on these low friction tires, which are the upgraded tires. We put on a set of those, which should help it move around the track. So I just put these new tires on, have not had time to test it to see, but it's going to perform better. It's just the way it goes. So all three of the cars you're seeing will have the low friction tires on them. These two both have the small tire on it. And then we come to the next one. So I bought a kit. This is the Geo Glider. Just a base Geo Glider, nothing special. The difference though is this comes with large diameter wheels. Okay, so along with that, we basically took the base car, we bought some low res wheels. In this case we bought a narrow front one and a wide back one. This all came in the set. One narrow, a narrow set for the front and a wider set for the rear. I did not have the wider rim or wheel, so we just let it overhang a bit. That's what I did. So I also bought the rear brake stay, the extended stay for the front and the rear. We have some 19 millimeter metal rollers that we bought, and then these were taken off of a different kit, and I stacked them up and did a double, which will give more stability in the front. Also, because you've got two of them dragging, creates a little more downforce, because these actually lean down a little bit, and that helps create drag to pull the front of the car down. So along with that, we added weights in the front. Again, this came from the side stays here. The side dampeners came with this extra weight, so I just split it. So put one here and then added the ones to the front. We also have weights in the back. You can see them here and here. I've put them out as far as I can and then captured them in between this so that they bounce in there, but that the reason why I put them down here and not up, sorry about that, and not up, is that it keeps the weight low. So as it's moving around, that lower weight will help create, I believe, this is all in theory, you know, the big thing about once you jump into higher categories, so the box stock, these two here are in the tuned category, which means it was basically a box stock with extra Tamiya parts added onto it, and no modifications to the chassis, to the body, or anything like that. You can put any parts on you want, you just cannot modify the stuff. Now, if you feel like you want to modify and do different things, well, then you're into the open class. So I haven't gotten into the open class as of yet, because I'm still figuring out this. So why do I have two tuned cars that are like this? So the difference is this is a mid or an MS chassis. This is the FM, the FMA specifically chassis. So this is a front-mounted motor, so that basically when it takes off on a jump, it's supposed to, because you got more weight in the front with the motor, it's supposed to come down like this. So we also added on the front, what do they call it, a dampener. It's essentially like a brake, but it's a smooth plastic instead of being a foam sponge. And then we've added a small black brake in the back here. And I have basically taken sandpaper and cut down the edge, just beveled it essentially, so that it lets off easy as it's dragging across the top of a jump, or even as it's going up a hill. It's a little less abrasive, essentially let loose. So again, with this base stock car, we added a ton to it to create what's here. So this is definitely my best performer. We took out the stock motor, of course, and we put in a Hyperdash 2. So there's a 2, there's a 3, there's the original Hyperdash. So this is a Hyperdash 2. This is the Japan Cup Hyperdash 2. So not only is it a Hyperdash 2, but it is a collector's motor. And it's really strong, very fast, just a well-made motor. If you find one and you're into this and you're doing it, and you find that Japan Cup Hyperdash 2 motor, grab it. Grab it. It's not that expensive, and you should grab it. So if you're new into this, I'm going to explain some things. So a base kit, just like this, base kit is going to run you anywhere between, and this is at the time of filming, of course, in 2025, in August, the beginning of August, between $12 and $15 for a base kit, just depending on what it is, right? If you get some certain collector's editions and stuff like that, they could run you up to $20 just because it's a collector's edition. You usually get a see-through body, like a smoky body or something like that. But nothing really else. It's just a box stock. So make sure you're happy with whatever chassis it is that you're getting. And so it's easy enough there. Motors will run you anywhere from under 4 to under 7. For the collector's ones, you're going to spend maybe $7-8 for one of those. But they're definitely worth it. They're worth the money. If you're jumping up in classes, especially if you're doing an open class, it's definitely a good motors, for that class. Box stock, again, it's just a stock motor. I think you can get basic stock motors for $3 or less for just a white one. In this case, if you're looking for a stock motor, you might as well buy an extra kit. So like this one is my box stock. So there's certain things that are prone to happen, like if it tracks out, in other words, it falls out of the track and it hits, these take the brunt of the hit. If it takes a particularly hard hit, the screw in there can damage the hole and take it from being pointed down to now flat, which is not good, and it'll crack and damage your frame. So if you're doing a box stock, and any time you're doing something like this, best thing to do is, if you like a car, buy 2 of them. Okay, so this was like, I think $12, so I bought an extra one, so 22. So I bought one, tested the car, like it, it's great, so I bought a second one. Why would I buy a second one? I've got one. Why do I need a second one for? In case something breaks, right? Something goes wrong, anything breaks, screws break out to the chassis, I want to have an extra chassis to pull from. If the body breaks, cracks, damaged, I've got another body. Along with that, I have an extra motor. I have extra gears. So if the gears start getting worn and everything else, well, I've already got another set sitting waiting. Along with that, I have another set of axles. So if these axles aren't necessarily true, you have a second set of axles. Now, why is that important? Because sometimes these packages come and the axles are not straight. So you can fix them. You know, if you have a tiny anvil like this and a little flat, non-textured flat hammer, you can find where the high spot is and tap it down and make it straight again. If you don't want to deal with that, what you want to find is straight axles. So in box stock, you can replace parts if they break. It just has to be the exact same part. So I can't change these out for white ones because it's not what came in the kit. They have to be purple ones, or it's not considered box stock. Even though, you know, the white ones are same size and everything, you cannot use them because the box stock came with purple ones. So if I need to replace these because one gets damaged, chunked out, you know, hits a corner of something as it flies, as it tracks out, and chunks one of these, well, I have a replacement. And that's important to be able to have replacements. Also this, not all of them come with this, but this one actually comes with a rear brake. And so if my other one, if this starts to wear out, I have another one to replace it with. And then as this wears down too, it basically then I have two parts to play with. I have one that's stock, that's going to give more drag, and one that's worn in, that's going to give less drag. Okay? So once again, you cannot modify these parts. So I can't come in, now that I've got two of them, and sand this down. You can't, that's considered modifying. Can't do that. But if I've run this on a track enough times and this has worn down a little bit, that's not modifying, that's part of racing. So then I have options on that. So that's why you want to, once you've found something that you like and you want to race, if you're going to race it, buy two. Or you've got the one, go buy another one. And that way you've got the extra parts. So that is going to do that for this. I just wanted to jump everybody in. Definitely comment if you like this. If you're interested, you want to talk, you want to do anything, please drop a comment down. I'm happy to talk and discuss stuff. It's very interesting to me because this is not RC, right? And even though the channel says go make it RC, the basic theme of go make it applies to this. These are kits you have to put together. You'll have to clip pieces out. You'll have to massage things to make them smooth, which is all part of the, you know, putting the kit together. You must use, you know, the grease that's included. You must, you know, that's the only lubricant that you can use in a box stock. Once you go to the tuned or the or above, or the open category, you can use whatever you want. You can add bearings, you can do all sorts of stuff. And there's multiple discussions on whether to use the plastic bearings that come, or bushings basically, that come versus the bearings. Excuse me. You're basically tuning these to, you know, you're going to get wear in certain points and it's going to slow something down, which might be a good thing, you know. Being able to change motors, having multiple motors in the rev, or yeah, in the rev, the balanced, and the torque categories allows you to, if your car is flying, you know, tracking out, flying off the track basically, changing a motor instead of changing gearing can change the way that basically reacts, right? If it's a nice flat track, lots of straightaways, having a high rev motor is a great thing. It gives you that top speed. But if you've got a lot of jumps, that top speed can track you out, can throw you off the track. So then you want to go down to a balanced motor. And if there's a lot of turns in a track, like a ton of turns and S-turns that'll zigzag you, then going down to a torque motor where you've got a little more torque, less high speed RPM, but it's going to get you through the corners faster. So you're balancing it. Corner faster, straightaway faster. If there's not a lot of straightaways, or the very short straightaways, and a lot of turns, then you want to drop down for that. And that's the same with gearing. Is you can play with the gearing on that kind of stuff too, and bring any one of these motors more into that. So you can go with a 3.5 to 1 ratio, or a 4 to 1 ratio. You could even go to a 5 to 1 ratio. So 5 to 1 ratio is going to give you basically more torque out of it, less high speed, and that's just the way it goes. So you play with that, changing stuff out, and you tune for the track that you're racing, and that's exciting to me. You turn the car on, you place it down, and it takes off on the track. So I will add a video of this, the Geoglider, going on the track to the end of this video, so you can see how they go and how fast they go. So until then, go make it. We'll see you in the next video. Have a wonderful day. Talk to you later. Bye.